MEK is an organization that was built 57 years ago, fighting against Iranian Shah, the king, the dictator of the king. And then after Iranian revolution, they started to fight against this fascist Khomeini. All right, they had already their fight, of course, in the jail, Shah's jail. They had their fight against the mullahs, because the mullahs were saying the Marxists are najas, they are dirty, and so on. MEK was against them, saying that your Islam is trash. Okay, so they were fighting inside the Shah's jail. And they said that if you take the power in Iran,
okay, perfect. The way you're explaining it is hard. People are not gonna, because I think you're using a lot of words that you think people will understand. Okay.
Okay, you said explain about MEK, so I was explaining. Yes,
I know. But your explanation for people who are not familiar with Iranian history, your explanation is not going to make much sense. Okay, so let me just tell what you said to people, and then you could tell me if I'm misrepresenting you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying the MEK was an organization that used to fight against the dynasty, the monarchist dynasty, the Shah, right?
Yes.
They used to be in power before the Islamic Republic of Iran took power, okay? And yes, they were the dictators, and they were fighting them then. And then when the Islamic Republic of Iran came to power, when you say the mullahs, you're talking about the regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Yes. When they came into power, you're saying the MEK started fighting them as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, right. Yeah, go on, continue now.
Yeah. And anyway, since that time, they have been fighting, and they are the biggest opposition to Iranian regime. And of course, the regime.
Sorry. You mentioned something else as well. You mentioned that the MEK, the reason why you were saying that the Islamic Republic of Iran, you were criticizing the Islamic Republic of Iran's version of Islam, is because your claim is that the MEK has the proper Islam, and they're using the Islam the correct way. But the Islamic Republic of Iran is has a wrong version of Islam, an evil version of Islam, and this is not true. As what we're seeing in Iran is not true Islam. What the MEK has is true Islam. Correct?
Okay. One more thing is that first of all, that's correct. Another thing is that the regime of Iran is not, first of all, not Islamic, not Republic, because Republic, everybody know, changes every 4 years, and it's not Islamic because they are a bunch of mafia terrorists. You know yourself, they are a bunch of mafia. They rob people. Okay, they are absolutely a bunch of liars. You know very well that they absolutely don't believe in a single word that they say themselves. You know yourself that the leader is now over $95 billion rich. How he got this money? He robbed the people. So they abuse Islam. They just lie about Islam. They abuse the religion like many, like Adolf Hitler abused nationalism.
Don't mention that guy's last name. YouTube doesn't like that. Right?
Okay, anyway, so people abuse different things like nationalism, language, and so on. The mullahs, they abused Islam, and those like Ayatollah Muntazeri, who was the second man in Iran who really believed in that backward religion. He really believed. He stood against Khomeini. So those who really believe, those who really believe, they stood against Khomeini. Even though they are backward, their Islam is backward,
So
religion.
Perfect. I don't think anybody here is pro the Islamic Republic of Iran. So we don't need to keep mentioning how evil the Islamic Republic of Iran is. Okay. So yes. I think we're all here on the same page. Okay. So we don't need that. Okay.
Okay. But another thing that you were saying, you have been saying that MEK is worse than Iranian regime. This is really you don't understand this much, that this is a humiliation to Iranian people, that the regime itself is worse than ISIS. It's a backward Stone Age regime, and the most educated people in Iran who are in this organization, they are all engineers and doctors. They are worse than the regime. So the signal it gives to people is that Iranian people are a bunch of barbarians. They don't have a good, alternative to this regime. And the biggest organization is worse than the regime. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
this is
let me translate. So let me translate, because I think like a lot of people are going to get confused about what you're saying. So what you're saying is that I have said, okay, so that the
many times.
MEK, yes, many times, I have said that the MEK is worse than the Islamic Republic of Iran, right? The
Yes.
organization, right? And you're saying this is an insult to the Iranian people because I am questioning their reasoning capacity, because I'm acting like Iranian people are idiots, because a regime like the Islamic Republic of Iran is as bad as ISIS. So for me to say that MEK is worse than the Islamic Republic of Iran is an insult to the understanding of Iranian people, right?
That they are all engineers and doctors, okay, highly educated
All of
people
them.
in Iran, and they are yet, and the biggest, alternative to this regime, the biggest, enemy of this regime, the biggest organization, they are yet worse than Iranian regime, and you have not a single proof that worse than Iranian regime should be that they have killed millions, they have stoned at least one person more than Iranian fascist regime. They have chopped one hand more than Iranian regime. That makes them worse than Iranian regime. But they haven't done a single of these barbaric acts that Iranian regime do. And you say they are worse than Iranian regime. How can it be possible? I can say that friendly Muslim is worse than ISIS. I have to have proof. Or I say Armin is worse than ISIS. I have to have proof. I have to say Armin killed, for example, 200,000 people, or chopped their hands, or he stoned people more than ISIS, and then I can say yes, Armin is worse than them. I cannot just say without any evidence. You say MEK is terrorist. MEK was in the court, the second biggest court in Europe, and in London's court, and in Washington court in many years. All these governments, European governments and US government, they couldn't come in many years with a single evidence that MEK is a terrorist organization. And these courts, they said that MEK should be removed from terrorist list because they are not terrorists, okay? And these governments, they were forced to remove MEK from terrorist list. How can you say that MEK is a terrorist organization without a single evidence? Please bring your evidence, and then I leave MEK right now. Can you give us a single evidence that why MEK is a terrorist organization?
Okay, well, do you want me to gather all the reports and then we
No,
could have a
one,
show?
listen, a single terrorist attack that MEK blow up this building, for example, okay, and killed so many.
There,
Yeah.
well, there are a lot, okay, but obviously I didn't.
One. And
Oh
I
my
don't need
God.
a lot. I just need
Can you,
one.
can you wait?
Yes.
I'm
Give me
talking.
one.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of reports. Okay, for example, but before I get to the reports, before I get to the human rights violations, to the attacks, to the suicide, attacks, and all self-burning, and the killing of their own members, and the camps that they have, and the brainwashing of the children, and the killing of their own fellow Iranians during the Iran-Iraq war. There's like tons, okay? But if you want me to go through the evidence, all these reports with you, you have
No,
to give
just
me.
I said one.
I don't.
Okay.
Can
For
you
example,
can
you
you
say
calm down? I'm talking.
yes.
Like I let you
Yes.
finish. Didn't I do
Okay.
that to you? I was very respectful,
Yes.
wasn't
No,
I?
I just say
Right.
one. Give me one. Okay.
Right. Like, well, I'm not gonna right now live on air go and like look for exactly where I saw the report, because there's a lot. Okay, but this is not the time for me to do that. I could like set up a schedule with you, and then we could
Okay.
go bring one at one or more. I don't want to do one. I want to do more than one. Okay.
Okay. More. Yeah. But
Right?
can we do it
Yeah.
next week? Can we
Yeah.
do it
Sure.
next week?
Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
we can
Sure.
do that.
But
You can bring, and then I tell you one thing. If you bring a single evidence, Iranian regime, European country, USA give you millions of dollars because they couldn't come with a single evidence to all these
no,
courts. Okay.
that's not how it works. Okay. So first of all,
Okay.
it might be accurate for you to say that they're not a terrorist group, but they're still done evil things. Okay. Because for an organization to meet the definition of a terrorist group, there is that's a very hard barrier, bar to cross. For example, Putin, right now is doing a lot of evil things, killing a lot of people, but he's not a terrorist. Okay, what they're doing is happening during war, right? For example, a lot of the things that MEK, a lot of human rights violations that the MEK has done was done during the Iran-Iraq war. So technically, that doesn't count as terrorism, right? That was like actions they did during war. It was still evil, but maybe not terrorism. A lot of other human rights violations that they have done to their own members, right, in Albania and other places, those are also human rights violations, but don't meet the definition of terrorism, right? So it's maybe you're right. I'm agreeing with you that maybe there's not a single thing that you could prove that this is a terrorist group, and I shouldn't be calling them a terrorist group, but still an evil group. So we could debate that. We could look into see whether that's accurate or not. Okay. I have a question from you. By the way, you might be completely right. Maybe I'll go through this evidence with you because I've read a lot of the reports and they seem very damning. Reports by different independent human rights groups, and they are horrible. And also reports of what the MEK did during the war. But just because the report said that doesn't mean that they're true. Maybe so maybe you're right. We'll read the reports together with you, and then you tell me why they're wrong. And if I'm convinced, I will be like, yeah, you're wrong. You're right. I was wrong. I'll change my mind. Okay, good.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Because
however,
look, I have to tell you like this, Armin. Okay, I want my people be free. Okay, I've been searching. I am much older than you. Okay, I've been 43 years in politics. I have been looking all different groups in Iran. All right, I haven't found a single group that can bring this regime down and is as democratic as MEK. So if I can, because I don't have, you were saying something absolutely terrible too. You were saying that we worship Mariam Rajavi. If Mariam Rajavi put her leg one step out of the line, I break her leg myself first. Okay, we are not like that. We were fighting against fascist Khomeini as well because we realized that he's a dictator.
Sorry. We already heard that part. Okay, so let's not repeat that. I have a question for you. Can you say something negative about Mariam Rajavi to me?
Negative?
Yeah.
I mean, if there is nothing negative, then how can I say something negative?
Criticize something she did wrong. Criticize something that she did that was wrong.
For somebody might be she did wrong that she has been fighting in 43 years. She has put everything.
No. For you. Not for some. For some, you tell me something that Mariam Rajavi has done that you consider to be wrong.
I haven't seen. Can you please pick it up one? Then I can discuss with you to see if that was right or wrong.
Because I haven't seen. No, perfect. That way. Listen, you follow the MEK very closely. Okay.
Yes.
And you follow all their actions. Okay.
Yes.
After all these time, has there been a single thing that you have seen that Mariam Rajavi has done that you could say like that was wrong? I disagree with that. After all this time following them so closely.
No, I haven't seen.
Okay. Doesn't that?
And that's not wrong. Okay. That's not wrong.
That's alarming. Because my claim. Okay. So maybe. Okay. My claim. Okay, is that the MEK follows Mariam Rajavi like a cult leader. Okay. And
that's your opinion.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Yes. But this, like, I haven't seen. Okay, the way people talk about MEK. The way MEK members talk about Mariam Rajavi, they talk about it as if she's a goddess. Okay.
That's your opinion. Yes.
Okay. Do you know everything I say is my opinion, right?
Yes,
do you think I'm saying the opinion of like why would I say anyone else's opinion? Of course it's my opinion.
Yes, because
I wouldn't say I wouldn't.
But it's not the case. It's not true.
I know. I'm here to tell you my opinions. I'm not here to say your opinions. Okay, so I know that this is my opinion. Okay, so this is alarming to us. So we want to investigate because a group that claims to be pro-democracy seem to be very dogmatic, seems to not accept any form of criticism on their goddess. That's what it comes like have you seen any time Mariam Rajavi coming in, being accepting like she's hidden, nobody has access to her, nobody could question her, nobody could interrogate her? Have you ever seen her come out and have a debate with somebody? Have you ever seen come forth and have be accept challenge to her views? Have you ever seen that?
Okay, about that, first of all, if, for example, now you see this for Iran International TV, okay?
Have you seen that? No. Before you say that, have you seen
Okay.
that ever? Have you
Yeah.
ever seen MEK members, like either MEK members, like two questions. Have you ever seen MEK members, okay, come out and say like, I like Mariam Rajavi, but she screwed up over there. I don't like that. Okay. That's one question. Question number two, have you ever seen Mariam Rajavi come out and say like, come interview me openly, challenge my views, ask me open questions, and I will respond. I respond to your challenges. Have you seen any of these two ever?
Right now they are fighting a fascist regime, okay, and they cannot they have to for example recognize the people they are going to discuss with. For example,
so the answer is no. The answer is no to both.
No.
So the answer is no. Okay.
No, I say that, for example, the Iran International, the TV channel Iran International, they are all the time having discussion with them. They answer their questions. It depends on, for example, Ayatollah BBC.
No, I'm not
Ayatollah
talking
BBC,
about.
they are not recognizing Ayatollah BBC, for example. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about whether the members of MEK are ready to be challenged.
All right. Okay.
I'm talking about Mariam Rajavi. Has she ever been? So the answer to both of these questions are no. Is that correct or not?
Let me put it in this way, okay?
Oh my God.
It's
a yes or no question.
Okay, no, they are not doing it. Okay, like for example, you say that. Have you seen that? Joe Biden go and answer people's question? No, it is not like that. Okay.
Biden does that. Biden. What are you talking about? Biden gets challenged by reporters all the time. They have the White House meeting. The reporters are there, and they constantly are criticizing him right to his face.
Yeah, because he's in power. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just confirming. Yeah, but a leader of an opposition needs to show that he or she can handle criticism, and he or she can. Yeah. So she does. So another question. Okay. You tell me that I'm lying. Right? Okay. Sometimes when I say these things about MK, how do you know I'm lying? If you disagree with me, how is it not possible that I'm just wrong? Maybe I have a misunderstanding. How do you know I'm lying when I say things you don't like?
Okay, what you say is a lie. Okay, but maybe you misunderstand. You give people's lie. For example, you mentioned those reports from, I don't know, this Human Rights Watch, and you know yourself that Elahi Hicks, who was Iranian agent, he was giving that report to that.
I have not been using that report ever since I noticed that.
And all of those,
there you go.
Yes,
but it's not just all of them. Okay, I agree that. Okay, first of all, just because Elahi Hicks is like a douchebag, like I don't like her, that doesn't necessarily mean that her report is wrong. I agree that she's I don't like her. Okay, she's horrible.
She was Iranian agent.
I know. Okay, but yeah, so. Forget that report, okay? But it's hard to believe that all the reports from all these different independent human rights organizations about MEK, are they all the agents of the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Okay. Has ever United Nations, given such a report?
First of all, do you understand how, maybe you're right, okay? But do you understand how difficult it is for me to believe, that all the human rights organizations reports on the MEK, they are all wrong?
Okay, can I next week, as you said? No.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, I have to give you evidence. I cannot just say yes.
Can you give me No. Yeah. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are wrong. They are wrong or they're right. My question is: do you see how hard it is for somebody like me to believe that?
All right.
Even if just answer the question first. Yes. Even if you're right, let's say I'm wrong, you're right. Okay. Do you see how difficult it is to believe that?
How many of them there are that you say all? There are 2-3 maximum. Okay. For example, that Human Rights Watch from U.S. government, That's a
Amne-
U.S. government.
Amnesty also.
Amnesty
Amnesty
International. Give me the report. Amnesty
Okay, I don't know.
International.
No, I'm asking you. What were the
Never.
three? What were the three?
Sorry?
What were the three? You said there were two or three. What were the three? Human Rights
No.
Watch. What were the two?
No, you said yourself last time another one. I don't know. I haven't seen,
Okay.
but it is
All right,
maximum.
let's
okay?
prepare them.
All right.
Let's prepare them all
Let
for
me
next
tell you.
time.
And some reporters, like for example, there was a German newspaper that she gave also a report. There was a journalist, and she has a good relation with Iranian regime. I can show you the proof. And even the court has fined her. Said that next time you say such a lies about MEK,
there's more than three. There's so many. Okay. So many reports. But yeah, go on.
He was saying that there have been no terrorist cases from the MEK, but I just went on to Wikipedia to search for some things, and there are three actually. It is Asadullah Lajeravi assassination, Lajewardi assassination.
Yeah, he was a mass murderer. He was the biggest.
Hold on. Wait a second. Let him finish.
Ali Sayad Shirazi, man, these names, and 1998 chain murders. I just felt like how Armin feels when he pronounces his names.
These are the example of the terrorist attacks that the MEK has done. These are the three that.
Okay, so you mean that killing Lajewardi? No. Let me see. You mean killing Lajewardi was a terrorist attack? Armin, killing Lajewardi was a terrorist attack. Do you know what is terrorism? Can you explain the definition of terrorism?
Okay. So I'll tell you what the definition of terrorism is for me. So it is that it has to be done by a non-state actor. It has to be an act of mass violence, of indiscriminate killing, and there was one more factor. It's slipping out of my mind, but I think 1998 chain murders do qualify for that definition.
Okay. Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, the definition of terrorism is that a political action that put innocent people's life in danger is a terrorist attack. For example, if some mafia group goes and rob a bank and kill people, that's another terrorist action. Okay, if some gangs do that, is not a terrorist action. But if a political party organization put innocent people's life in danger, okay, that's a terrorist attack. Okay, so Lajewardi was a mass murderer. He executed over 10,000 people. That Sayyad Shirazi that you said, he was the head of Iranian army, and he was a general. He had also killed many Kurds, many organizations, MEK's members, and he was a terrible person. And MEK, when they killed him, okay, they were 2-3 times they were attempting to kill him because his son was in the car. They aborted the killing of that mass murderer. So the day that he was alone, they killed him because they didn't want to, put his son in danger. So this is not, and that's why all these evidences in these courts, they were rejected because they were not terrorist actions. Okay, all these three courts I told you.
Yes. 1998 chain murders.
One second, I just want to because I just want to, in defense of Mujib, because I think there is one thing that you haven't mentioned, and I think it's important for you also that you're calm, and I think Armin's given you a platform to actually address some of his concerns or his understanding, which is fair play to him. He said, if I'm wrong, then that's fine. But something you haven't mentioned is in 2009, the UK delisted the MEK as a terror group. The Obama administration removed the group from the US terror list in 2012 and later helped negotiate its relocation to Albania. So now, is the MEK with the Obama administration at that point moved to Albania? Are they based in Albania now?
Yes, they are based in Albania.
Yes,
right.
They are.
Okay.
And
so
then
I think
what about the chain murders?
Chain murders? Which chain murders?
Yes. 1998 chain murders.
There is no such a thing. Chain murders was by Iranian intelligence service. If you are talking about that, this was Said Imami. He was killing some journalists and activities. So, and because he was these hardliners against this Khatami, so-called reformists, they wanted to put pressure on him, and then it came up that it was done by him. They caught him, put him in jail, and they killed him. Armin knows all of this, okay, himself.
Okay, I take your word for it because I don't know many things about Iran or the MEK, so
No,
I just thought that
exactly.
I must point
No,
these
What
things out
about
to you to increase my
what
knowledge.
about? Okay, go on, Satya. Do you want
But
to?
the precedent that you're setting here, that killing of political people is not terrorism if it is indiscriminate. I think I don't know many things about this, but imagine if 9/11 happened only on Pentagon and only the generals who were sitting there died. Then will it be considered a terrorist attack?
Okay, I'm not going on that because, for example, partisans in Second World War, they were killing German soldiers, okay, and that wasn't terrorism. That was an act of war against, Nazi Germans. So it was they were freedom.
Because it
So
was during war. Because it
yes,
was during war.
yes, exactly, during war, and we had war. We have war against Iranian fascist regime. That's also a war. There has been many things. For example, that officer who was going to kill Adolf Hitler. Okay, and he fell.
Oh my God.
Tom Cruise played that movie as well. So that wasn't either a terrorism. Okay, you cannot call that war. Okay, it. To kill some, people like Hitler and such a people is like Khomeini. This is not terrorism. I told you the terrorism is when
Okay.
you kill innocent people in a political action. That's terrorism.
Yeah, perfect. I want to see if you can answer this question, okay? Because I know you disagree with it, but I want to see how transparent can you be with people here, okay? Can you
Yes.
tell us the main thing before you tell us why they're wrong? Okay, you could tell them why they're wrong after, okay?
Okay.
Can you tell us the main thing that the Iranian people mention when they want to hate on the MEK? When the Iranian people who they say like, oh, the MEK is evil, okay? What is the thing that the MEK has done that the Iranian people mention the most? I want to see if you could tell us honestly, right?
Okay, just tell me when Iranian people in which election they mentioned anything against MEK. Just because some people say something, it doesn't mean entire Iranian people said something.
Okay. See, like, listen to the question again, okay? I didn't say the entire Iranian people say that. I say those ones, the Iranian people who hate
Those
the
who say
MEK,
that.
the ones who say they hate so much the MEK, they say the MEK is like evil, okay?
Okay.
What action of the MEK do they refer to when they mention that?
Okay, mostly, if you want to say that, mostly they say because MEK was in Iraq fighting against Iranian fascist regime. They say
no. See, you can't do it. Okay. Right now, you're putting it in your words. Okay.
Okay.
So say it in their words. What do they say? They don't say. They don't.
They say yes. They say MEK side with Saddam. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they say. Yeah, basically, they took Saddam's side and they killed the Iranian people. Okay, so they don't say because that's when you say against the fascist Islamic Republic of Iran. No, because Iranian people who hate that, they say like, no, you were killing you weren't just fighting the Islamic Republic of Iran. You were killing Iranian people. You were taking the side of Saddam against the Iranian people, and you were killing Iranian people while you were doing it. That's what they say, right?
Okay.
Can I say how do you respond to that?
Yeah, okay, my response is that they were those Basiges who were chanting, war until victory. We have to occupy Karbala and go to occupy Jerusalem. Okay, because they felt MEK forced Khomeini to drink that poison, poison. That's why Iranian regime, and I have to tell you this so that you understand, not only MEK was in Iraq, there were several Marxist group and Kurdish group as well. They were in Iraq, and the only thing that they mentioned is MEK because MEK was the biggest organization that forced Khomeini to drink that peace.
I understand that. I understand that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
We could. Okay. The second thing that some people say is that the MEK was actually helping the mullahs come to power, right?
All right.
The Marxists, because for people who don't know, okay, maybe you disagree with me, but MEK ideology has some Shia Islam elements in it, but also has some Marxist element in it. Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
It can be
translated
as Marxism, but they believe in equality. Yes.
Okay, so it's Marxist Marxist and Shia Islam, kind of like a little bit elements of both. Okay.
Okay.
But before the revolution, before the Islamic Republic revolution happened, before the 1979 revolution happened, right? These are the same people. The MEK members are the same people who were united with the mullahs against the Shah. But once the revolution happened, the mullahs betrayed the MEK members, okay, and started fighting with them. And that's when the MEK also turned on the mullahs. But before that, they were working with each other. So a lot of people in Iran who are against the Islamic Republic of Iran, they say that the MEK members are responsible for bringing the mullahs into power. What do you say to that?
Can I respond to that? Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Look, this is exactly what the monarchy supporters, they spread, and some people don't understand that nearly 8 years before the revolution, MEK sent a representative to Iraq to meet Ayatollah Fascist Khomeini. Okay, at that time he was not in power. At that time he was Ayatollah Khomeini, a figure against Shah. So they went there to meet him and get support from him that for their fight. When Khomeini heard them, okay, said that no, you are munafiq, you are Hippocrates, okay, and MEK realized that this guy is a backward, okay, so he didn't support MEK, and MEK came inside the jail. As I said, they had a fight with these mullahs inside the jail, Shah's jail, and they said, MEK said that when you take the power in Iran, we will fight you, because they were saying that the Marxists are najas, Marxists are, dirty. Yes. They were making hunger.
Okay, but so you didn't address.
No, let me finish. MEK had the fight with the mullahs inside the the jail, and MEK, when the revolution was done, after the revolution, MEK had just some thousand followers. How could some thousand followers bring down the Shah and give the power to Fascist Khomeini that MEK knew it before? Okay, Khomeini, almost 98% of people, they were seeing him as a somebody in the moon and so on. So MEK didn't have a single power to bring Khomeini to power. Okay.
Okay.
If they had, yes,
I understand that. I understand you're saying they were too small to be able to help them. Okay, but originally, do you acknowledge that originally? Okay,
yes,
the MEK members and the mullahs were working with each other against the Shah before they turned on each other. Originally, they were working with each other against the Shah. Is that? Do you agree with that?
Look, do you know Fadai, the Marxist group Fadai? They were also fighting. It doesn't mean that they were working with mullahs. No, absolutely not. They were absolutely, they were jail,
supporting each other. No, before that.
Absolutely not, I say.
Okay, so you don't agree with that. Okay. What about the claim? Okay, so you don't agree with that. Okay. What about the part where they say that MEK, at a point where they realize that they're not going to be able to defeat the Islamic Republic of Iran, with Saddam's support, they still sent many of their own members in a suicide mission in the front lines to fight the Islamic Republic of Iran, knowing that this is a suicide mission, knowing that their members, a lot of their members are going to die in the battle, but sent them forward anyways.
Okay.
What's your response to that claim?
Okay, my response is that that's the Iranian regime or those who are against MEK's version. Okay, it was like this, that MEK had a attack, and then they occupied some cities empty cities in Iran, and they were chanting, today Mehran, it was a city Mehran, today Mehran, tomorrow Tehran. Okay, let me explain for you. 25 days later,
answer my question first.
Yes, I'm going to
answer. Did that happen, or did that not happen? Yes.
Look, it was 1 week before the ceasefire start. So MEK wanted to bring down the regime. So they decided that this is a good time. All right. So they attacked. They went nearly 30 kilometers inside Iran, and they were near a big city called Kermanshah. If they occupied that city, the regime would fall. So they fell. It doesn't mean that they were going to a suicide, attack. They knew that there is a possibility that they win, they bring down the regime, and they did that attack. all right, because the border was going to be closed. All right. So before the border get closed, they wanted to do this attack and show the people.
Okay, so you're saying it's not true.
Sorry.
So you're saying it's not true then?
I'm telling, you understand yourself that if they reached Kermanshah, Rafsanjani at that time, he went himself directly to Kermanshah, and he said that if they come to Kermanshah, they will occupy Tehran. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, all I wanted to know is that you're saying there was a good reason for doing that, because the claim is that, yeah, but the counterclaim by other people is that no, they just send these people to just go and die. They were sacrificing their own people.
Yes.
I just want to put these like out there. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. Okay. What about the claim that the MEK members are, you know, within the within MEK's compounds, right? Whether back when it was in Iraq and now that it's in Albania, they are treated really poorly. And there's a lot of human rights violations that are happening in these compounds. What's your response to that?
So my response is that you have never been to MEK compound. Okay, I have been there. They are free to go whenever they want. Okay, and in Iraq, when they were, for example, after the occupation of USA opened a little camp near them called TIF, okay? And anybody wanted to leave MEK, they were pushing them to leave MEK. Anybody was going to leave, and some people left, of course, yeah? Because the fight became hard, difficult, so they were under, you know, control and so on.
So it's
they left.
not true.
So such a thing that, you know, and then tell you that FBI interviewed each of them one by one, okay? There is a report that they didn't find a single connection between any members with, you know, terrorism, and not a single single.
All right, got it. Not true.
Yes.
All right. What about? I just want to move through this one more, and two more things, and then I'll let the friendly Muslim Ibn Qayyim and Satya talk. What about this is not a claim. I've seen this on video. What about the people who burned themselves alive for Maryam?
All right. That's look. France prime minister went to Iran, okay, and he wrote a contract, $2 billion contract, and in return he was going to capture Maryam Rajabi and other members and extradite them to Iran, okay. So this was the only way to stop them. For some members was like, for example, in DMBFO fight in Vietnam, Vietnamese, they didn't have weapons, so they were blowing up themselves amongst French soldiers to win the war. It was necessary, okay? So you cannot blame people the way they fight, okay? The only way to stop this deal, this dirty deal, like now they are going to release this terrorist guy in Belgium. I don't know if you have heard it. So some people might do something. For example, there was somebody in front of New York, a left group.
Okay, so I get it. You're saying like they burned themselves alive for Maryam, but it was justified because it was the only way to get attention to that cause.
Not attention. The only way to stop them. Okay, they couldn't, for example, take a gun and fight French government or such a things. Okay, this was the only way. The only way to save the revolution, the movement. Okay, because it would be a great win for Iranian regime if Maryam Rajabi was extradited to Iran. Okay, so to stop it, that was the only way for some people. And Maryam Rajabi, by the way,
I got it.
Maryam Rajabi from jail, she wrote that please don't do it. Okay, she wrote a letter, asked the followers, please don't do that. Okay, so but it wasn't forced. Nobody was forced, and I can play for you a video.
To me, this might be completely wrong again, but to me, it comes across as very cultish when I see people of an organization. They are ready to burn themselves alive for the leader. Okay, it might be wrong, but that's how. So many things I see about MEK gives me cultish vibes. Okay, but one last question is like, how do you? How is it that MEK claims to support secularism when they come to power in Iran, when they replace the Islamic Republic of Iran, Islamic Republic regime? They claim that they support secularism, but at the same time, they say they're going to bring true Islam to the government. That they're going to use they're going to use the proper Islam as a means of governance instead of the wrong Islam that the Islamic Republic has.
Okay.
Is that not a contradiction?
Okay, can I say that MEK has never said that we are going to rule Iran through Islamic laws? Okay, it is
I heard Mariam. I heard Mariam say that.
Yeah, we believe in a different Islam. Okay, like Angela Merkel. Okay, she is the head of this Christian Democrat. Okay, Christian Democrat Party, but she lead the secular government.
There's a difference. No. There's a difference. Angela Merkel never comes and says like, through true Christianity and with proper Christian laws instead of this fake evil Islam Christianity that these other people have, we will bring.
She would say, she would say if she was fighting a Christian fascist regime in Germany.
Okay, so we don't have. Okay, so you're guessing that she would say, okay, but we don't have we haven't seen Angela Merkel come and say like talk about like true Christian values for Germany or stuff like that, okay? But we have seen Mariam Rajavi saying that true proper Islam we use the proper Islamic guidance or what, I don't know, ethical guidance or whatever as a model for Iran, as a model to rule over Iran.
No, she hasn't said that. No.
I heard it in a speech. Okay, maybe I misunderstood.
She said that we believe in a good Islam, in a human Islam. How do you say it? Okay.
No,
in a modern Islam,
she specifically said that unlike the Islamic Republic, which has the wrong version of Islam, we will use the proper version of Islam.
No, she hasn't said that. Okay, it is.
In her last speech, she said that.
Let me tell you, she's the head of NCRI. Okay, National Council Resistance, and in that National Council Resistance, there are Marxists, there are Christian, Jews, and everybody. Okay, and in that it is written that we believe in a secular. Why
don't they let the members, right, the uniforms for their women? Why is it all with hijab? Why don't they have uniforms without the hijab? Every single member has to wear.
Yes, because they are member of MEK. They are Muslims. Okay, but NCRI.
So you can't be. No, you have to be a Muslim to be an. Okay, so MEK itself, you have to be a Muslim to be a member of, correct?
Exactly. Yes, you have to be a Muslim to be a member of. That's
so MEK itself is going to be. So MEK itself, I understand that. There's a bigger group and there's the core group. The MEK is the core group, okay? But the MEK itself, is that going to be the party which is supposed to be ruling Iran?
No. Okay? If people choose MEK or Mariam Rajavi, yes, okay, that's after 6 months.
So she will stand. So Mariam Rajavi, if the Islamic Republic of Iran falls, Mariam Rajavi will stand for elections, correct?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Would she also be able to go to court for the accusations against her? Like, what do you think that it would be fair to just go to court and answer all the accusations against her?
Okay, so if I accuse you for something, then you have to come to the court just for accusation. I have to bring if there is evidence, yes, she will go definitely to the court.
No, there could be bad evidence.
Let me tell you, right now, today, first of all, there were courts, okay? And MEK has
Iranian court. Iranian court.
So I say, MEK has said many times that we can go to any court, okay? Anybody want to,
no, not MEK. Not MEK. Mariam Rajavi herself, when she steps in Iran, she should still first stand on trial. She should get arrested and stand trial.
She should be arrested for what? For what? For fighting Iranian fascist regime?
No, listen. For all the accusations against her, and if she's proved innocent, then she could leave prison. She could be free.
Okay. I mean, this is ridiculous that you, for example, for example, Reza Pahlavi, okay, the son of Iranian Shah, somebody say when he entered Iran, he has to be arrested. No, we cannot arrest people for
if there's a case, okay, so Mariam Rajavi has thousands of accusations against her. Reza Pahlavi doesn't. So that's the difference.
Okay.
But anyways.
But anyway, Reza Pahlavi also has, okay? Reza Pahlavi has stolen billions of dollars, okay? He has kept his father's, the money of his father's stolen.
Okay, fine. Okay. If you should make a case against if he ever comes to Iran, okay? You should file a case against him and he should stand trial.
Okay, as I said that what is it? Iraqi government fell, and then it was many years under this Shia regime, and they were accusing many times, but they couldn't bring a single evidence that MEK has this and that and that. So there was never a trial against MEK, even in Iraq, despite it was
let's go through the evidence.
It was under U.S. control and Iraqi Shia government. Okay, so such a thing doesn't exist even in Iran.
Do you think Mariam Rajavi will become like get elected as president if she was like if there was a vote right today in Iran?
Today, I don't know, because it has to be a fair election. Fair election is that
let's say the Islamic Republic of Iran falls and there's a fair election. Do you think like Mariam Rajavi will become president?
I don't know at all. Okay, because that's
a good answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That has to be you know, in an election, and then people see different options, and then different options must talk, must you know, discuss with each other, and then there will be election. And I believe 100% after that period she will be elected. After that period, okay.
Okay, so this, for people who don't know, this is Mariam Rajavi. But would you be offended if somebody swore at Mariam Rajavi, like said something like very, no? You wouldn't be offended?
No, of course not. I mean, you can swear whatever, but when some people lie about her, then I have to defend and say, no, this is a lie, okay? Or give wrong information.
I think, because here's the thing, I think like, you know, it might be, again, I don't want to accuse her of anything, okay? So to me, it comes across as, you know, that you have to not give cultish vibes, okay? Because are you aware that most MEK members, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Most MEKs that I have met treat her like she's untouchable, that she's a goddess, that she should not, if I say the smallest insult or the smallest negative things about her, they will come at me like I have like raped, you know, like attacked their mother or something. You know what I mean? Are you aware of that attitude that exists?
No, there, you know, in every parties or whatever, every beliefs, there are people, there might be people who are very, very sensitive, and you know, I have seen myself, but there are
I've seen it more with the MEK. I've seen it more with the MEK, but
I have seen, but very few, okay? And such a people, when I have seen, I myself criticize MEK itself, criticize such a people, that no, you cannot talk to people like this, okay? So there are supporters, maybe you know, few, but MEK members and majority of supporters, we are not like that, and we absolutely talk to people normally, and we accept the differences. But if you lie about MEK, you know, things that Iranian regime promote, okay, then of course.
So here's another thing. By the way, for example, the logo, as you can see, people, the logo looks like a communist logo, right? So, but the thing is that a lot of Iranian people, okay, the fact that MEK is an Islamic organization, that's enough for them to not want to support them as well. Beyond all the things that I mentioned, they're like, we have had enough with Islamists in politics, right? Like, we don't want to go from one Shia group to another Shia group. Anybody that uses Islam as a way to advertise themselves or has anything to do with Islam should stay away. We don't want them to rule over Iran.
Okay.
So that's not.
Did they say it in any election that you say a lot of Iranian, maybe 10%, perhaps 20%?
No. Yeah, go on.
But you have to prove it in an election, okay? That
majority
of Iranian people, you cannot just say. You cannot just say that.
No. It's okay. So I'm saying it based on polls, okay? Based on scientific polls, okay? And based on scientific polls.
Like what? Like which one?
Like Gammon, for example, which I think you're going to say is another Gammon polls, which Ibn Qayyim hates right now. Is it
okay? How can look?
Oh, yeah.
How can, you know, there is a mass murderer now in trial.
No,
in
you didn't let me
Sweden.
finish. Let me
Okay.
finish. Every poll shows, okay, and I think you're going to say they're all conspiracies, but every poll shows that the MEK does not have support in Iran, and a lot of people hate the MEK, okay? But you're saying that I cannot prove it until there are elections, which is fair, but without elections, the best guess, I'm not saying this is proof, but this is the best guess that we have based on all the online and all the other polls that we have right now, that the Iranian people are not in favor of MEK. But that's again.
Yeah. All right. Let me tell you, now 2 Iranian top students are jailed and they got 16 years. Yes, just because they are supporting MEK. Okay. So how can in such an environment, how can people say that yes, I'll support MEK? This is impossible. So these two,
the polls are anonymous.
Yes. Okay. All phone calls are they are controlled by Iranian regime.
Okay, but the same these are not phone calls, these are polls. Yeah. The same polls, people in vast numbers have said that they're against the Islamic Republic. Okay. So in the polls that people are saying that they're against the Islamic Republic, okay, and they're atheists, okay. In the same polls, they're saying that they're not for the MEK. So if they're afraid that the Islamic Republic of Iran is going to see their answers, then why are they saying that they're not Muslim? Why are they saying that they are not for the Islamic Republic of Iran? Like they should be hiding that as well. But the polls that people are saying that I am against Islam, in the same poll, they're saying they're not for the MEK.
Okay, look.
So they're not afraid.
Look. This is a comparison. The biggest opposition is MEK, so it shows itself the vast support among Iranian people. Otherwise, for example, yes,
that doesn't show that. No, it doesn't show that because because like again, they are support. This is an organization that has been supported by some big players, right? It's been supported by Saddam money, potentially Saudi Arabia's money, potentially American money. So that just because you have a lot of resources, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a lot of support in Iran from the people. I mean, it might. I'm not saying you're wrong. Maybe that's the reason. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean
Saudi money. From where you got this? I don't know. I do.
See, like you're not listening to me. No,
can you please show us a single evidence? Can you show us
understand? Do you understand? You can't listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that these are the accusations. I'm not saying that they're true. The accusation is that they're getting money from Saudi Arabia. Okay. This is a possibility. I didn't say it's true. It's a possibility. So I'm saying that the fact that they have so much money doesn't necessarily mean that they're backed by a lot of Iranian people. Pay attention to the word necessarily. I didn't say they're not. It doesn't necessarily suggest it. Do you understand?
All right. So you mean that by money you can bring people? Reza Pahlavi, he has billions of dollars. Why he doesn't have a single organization and supporter who can?
You're deflecting.
Who's fighting?
You're deflecting. Do you understand that you're deflecting to something else? What I'm saying is true. You agree with that? The fact that the MEK has a lot of money and resources doesn't necessarily mean that they're backed by a lot of Iranian people.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that.
Could I ask a clarifying question for the viewers? Because obviously they might get lost in here. So generally, what is the population of Iran at the moment?
82? 85?
80,
okay.
82 to 5 million.
Let's round it. Say 85, just to round it up. Okay. Now, if there was an election tomorrow, what would be the parties and what has been the pattern of voting within the country?
Oh, you can't judge by the voting in Iran because the voting in Iran is highly controlled by the Islamic Republic of Iran. So that's not
dictatorship.
Yeah. So I think me and Perfect Davo agree here that that's not a good way for you to figure out what do Iranian people want.
Okay. So judging from the polls, etc., what do the people of Iran currently want, and would they support a Marxist system?
No, the number one thing that they seem to want, I don't know if Perfect Davo here agrees with the answers, but the main thing that they want is a secular republic.
Yes, secular. I mean, we also support secular democracy, republic.
Yeah.
We call it as well, Democratic Republic of Iran.
If you'd like to send me your questions for me to answer during our Q&As, become a patron. If you would like to have a discussion with me live on air at the end of the Q&As, become a YouTube member. Link to both is in the description. Thank you for your support.